Detective Bezzarides, you'll be primary commander of the detail. Secondary is going to be a Vinci guy, Belcoro. Word is he's bent. Leverage something to turn him.
Whoever killed Casper, they have my money. I'll get it back. Every time.
Tell me, how compromised are you?
I don't talk about the desert.
Who are you?
Who am I supposed to be?
I don't know!
Welcome to What the Flick, everybody. Big crowd here. John Iadarola, Robert Abele, Alonso, Duralde, Ben Mankiewicz. Night Finds You, Episode 2, Season 2, True Detective. And they Game of Thrones'd it.
I would love for this show to have the balls to kill a major character at the end of the second episode. I don't know if they will. I doubt they will somehow, but I would be very in awe of that.
I mean, shot twice. Look, maybe the first one is shoulder and just causes pain, but that's
a belly shot
with a shotgun at 12 inches. But that said, no chance. I don't think he's dead.
Yeah, it's a belly shot, plus it's in the episode where we find out that they apparently coup de grace people by shooting them right in the crotch. So as he came up to him, I was like,
oh, that's right.
Yeah, and look, they did do the conversation that he had with Simeon about wanting to get out of it and not caring if he's going to die. I mean, that's the sort of thing that shows due to lead into a death.
Right.
But since it's so early and he's so significant, and he has so far had perhaps the most interesting scenes with both Simeon and with Rachel McAdams' character in this episode.
And his family.
And with his family, his loss would just be crippling to the season, it feels like. So I agree. I think that it was like a non-lethal round or something.
What would
salt.
Salt, perhaps, yeah.
And what would be the point of setting up the "you can't do this to me, my boy's all I have"? Like just being like, oh, this terrible thing happens to you, and then you die.
See, when I thought back about all those scenes, that's why I thought he is dead, because they set it up to be his last day on Earth.
And he's lost everything.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and he plants in Rachel McAdams the idea that there's more to this. You know, when he doesn't need to, you know, he would be dead anyway because he's already screwed over, Vince Vaughn's character. I mean, I think I believe he's dead. And even though after the first episode, I thought I love this character more than anybody else, it'd be great if he wasn't there.
Here's what according now. This has been fooled before with Breaking Bad. IMDb suggests that he's on all 8 episodes, but the woman who plays his wife has talked about how there's a lot of flashback scenes. For their life, so that could be it. That said, the trailers, these aren't really spoilers because we don't know if they're true. There are trailers of him in the mustache doing police things now that are clearly as part of this case that have not happened.
We haven't seen yet.
So that would suggest that he's not dead, but it wouldn't be the first time in history that a show had released decoy trailers.
Well, and also, why did Melisandre go to Hollywood? Come on.
So I don't think Jon Snow's dead, or I think Jon Snow's dead, but he's coming back. But I don't. There's also, and again, for whatever it's worth, there's a production shot of
I love how meta.
We are reading the I Ching now.
There's a production shot of him talking to Rachel McAdams with no shirt and a band and significant bandage around his
Don't you
stomach.
think we live in a world now where these productions, knowing they have a huge bond
It's never occurred to them.
What's the internet?
That they would like set up fake shots and fake scenes.
Well, they certainly got us interested for what happens in episode. Because he's either going to be like, if he's alive, if there's an ambulance and rushing him, then he survives. Like, there's no way he lingers and dies. There's no value in that. He's either Taylor Kitsch and Rachel McAdams either show up and they're like, oh my God, he's dead, right? Or something, or he's going to just make it and it was salt. That was one theory I read today.
Yeah, the interesting idea would be that if he stumbles in there, he found something in the closet. I don't know what that was. Anyway, I don't know, maybe you guys know what that. He opened up the closet, there's a recording device or some sort of computer or something like that.
Well, there's cameras everywhere.
Cameras as well.
Yeah.
So if it was some sort of non-lethal round, salt or something like that, it begs the question, why did the person defending the house know to have a non-lethal round in their self-defense shotgun?
He's wearing a bird costume, all right? I think anything is possible.
But the information about that house did not come from a completely unsuspect source. Simeon was given the information through his connection at that strip club that he manages. We already know that the strip club is potentially being investigated to be bought out by these other interests. It's possible that it was another attempt to set up Simeon or to take out another one of his sort of supporting legs.
So
like
it could have been a
Gaspar.
setup, but it wouldn't have been. It wasn't setting up Colin Farrell. It would have been setting up Vince Vaughn.
Or just trying to hurt Vince Vaughn in the same way that killing Benjamin Caspar didn't necessarily have anything to do with him. It had to do with Vince Vaughn.
I like that you call him Benjamin. Use the formal name for the deceased.
Show some respect.
It was on that whiteboard.
Yeah, I like that Vincent Vaughn.
So yeah,
Vincenzo Vaughn.
so Vince Vaughn, Simeon has been screwed over clearly. Like he's sunk all this money into this project and Caspar has Caspered with it, and so we don't know what the hell's going on. He's trying to sort of keep a foot into all this, but it's like he's got to start all over again and get another nest egg, and so. But the big reveal, I think, for this episode is that I was totally right about Taylor Kitsch.
Yeah, totally. You were 100% right. You said that you thought he was gay in episode 1. I thought no, that he took the Viagra with that incredibly beautiful woman because he was
Scarred
plagued by whatever happened at Black Mountain or whatever happened while working for Black Mountain. But and maybe something bad happened.
No, it could be both.
Yeah.
Sure.
But he is also unquestionably gay.
Totally.
Did I miss something? First of all, was that definitely Viagra or was that a pill? I thought
it was definitely
Viagra. It's
Viagra
blue.
because
It's
you waited.
blue.
It was a blue pill, and you had to wait half an
Little
hour.
blue pill.
Yeah.
Okay, but
But
what
see-
was the?
Okay, well, the whole thing about the faggot at the bank.
Yeah.
On this one fag, the bank, tried like hitting on me. Almost clocked the guy.
Yeah? Why would you do that?
I
That
love
right
the
there.
other guy's response.
Right.
Well, that's a heck of an anecdote.
Yeah, he has a nice anecdote to tell you. That was hilarious.
And then when he's looking at the people like going to the Pride Parade or whatever from the balcony of his apartment,
Oh, okay.
that's clearly an
I
indication
don't
of
know.
like
It seems to me
trouble.
like they're implying pretty heavily some perhaps childhood sexual abuse.
Oh,
I mean, his mother was oddly handsy
Yes,
with him.
that's
Well,
that is
yeah,
all true.
yeah.
True.
All the girls are nice to you, Polly.
Yeah, but the reason I think
right,
it
maybe.
wasn't just the blue pill in the first episode. It was the look on his face when he gave the blue pill. I mean, like a guy who needs a blue pill. I mean, he would have been happy to have the blue pill if he was happy to have sex with that woman. He just did not look like he wanted in the slightest. to
Right,
have
It
sex
was
with
it was a very gotta make the donuts. kind of
Yes,
expression.
absolutely.
I mean, she's not that pretty. Come on.
But it was,
ridiculous.
but trauma and a knowledge that you can't perform because of some trauma would have had the same sort of.
Sure, but
gotta get
I don't
through
trust.
this.
I don't trust that
Psychological
TV show. I don't trust that writers anymore have any tricks up their sleeve as to hint at somebody's gayness, like you know, in the subtlest way possible. So I could you pick up on this stuff so easily now.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought they did it really well. I thought that then the reveal, his comment, because it seemed so wildly out of character.
Yeah.
Because he seems like he's a caring, thoughtful guy, and that and the fag comment about was like, oh Christ, and then you were like, oh. And as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, Alonso, damn it, wrong again. Yeah.
And I always think that, so I just was ready to
Right, that's why I
dismiss it,
dismissed
but
it.
you know,
I'm like,
no,
everybody's gay, Alonso.
Yeah,
That's
no, on TV anyway.
Everybody's gay
On Turner
TV.
Classic Movies, especially. Anyway, and so I love the idea that all three of the whole notion of this show, I think, is about the three intersecting enforcement agencies and how everybody's basically setting up their guy or gal to be sort of the mole for the other two. That's
right.
It's
Right, that scene was great.
You're investigating this case, but you're also going to find out what's going on in Vinci, or you're investigating this case, but you're also going to
So are there only 70 people living in Vinci? So is his apartment is right next to the police station? Like, because they drove down and there was the seal. She
Right.
dropped him off at the seal, and then he just went into his apartment. Like she said, only
95 people.
Yeah, 95 people live there. Like 70,000 visit. That's where I got the 70, but 95 people live there. Is that possible?
I think some of these places in LA that if you've been to them, they're just so industrialized. You
That's
think
all it-
it's a
right.
real town, but like all I see are workplaces.
Yeah, no one lives
No one
there.
lives here.
No one lives there except there's a unit they built next to the police
I
station.
have to say, children playing near open chemical waste.
Yes.
A little on the nose.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Dump pouring out slugs. Real quick before we get, because we mentioned the great line of whatever his name is. What's Taylor Kitsch's name in the show? Doesn't matter. That's a great. That's again that we mentioned this last week. You watched Deadwood, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's W. Earl Brown for Deadwood.
Yeah.
And he is phenomenal. He steals every scene he's in. And,
He's
if Colin Farrell's dead, we're probably going to get a fair amount more of it. He's all of a sudden
There's an upside.
Right, going to take over the case for.
You'll have to
Vinci.
replace his.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought.
Really fast on lines, though, and we might not see much more of him, but Colin Farrell's two lines in his conversation with Rachel McAdams in the car. I mean, those are two funny, if completely.
The robot line.
The robot line.
Maybe it's just a little too close to sucking a robot's dick. I don't know.
And the feminism
And the
line.
body.
Yes.
Yeah, body
Pretty
issues.
good.
Yeah, the body issues line was great. My wife was like, she was like, we gotta get it.
And what she was saying there about the equalizer and the inherent difference between the genders is pretty interesting as well.
No, totally. That's right. Yeah, no, that was an interesting conversation.
The scene with the wife was powerful.
Yeah, and believable, incredible. Like finally, you were like, yeah, this is because this is what she should do.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have that guy parenting, and I mean, you'd give him another crack at it if he is sober for
Right.
a significant period of time or something like that.
You're bad, Ray. You're a bad person, and you're bad for my son.
Don't say that.
So I don't know. So you think he's dead?
I think he's dead.
I don't think he's dead. I don't think he's dead. You think he's dead?
I would be very impressed if he is, but we'll see if they have the stones to pull that off. I don't know. It's a lot.
You think he's dead?
I don't. I mean, this is very meta, but no, I don't think that he's dead.
I mean, they've done great subterfuge if he's dead. I mean, if then
They've covered their tracks.
Bravo.
My I think he's dead is I think he's dead is I want him to be dead. That's actually my thing. That's my I think. And I love the character, so
I got you, but I know why. And real quick, last thing, is it too depressing? Because I mean, these are dark characters. This is a lot of moping, a lot of Vince Vaughn. I mean, that's
the first one wasn't exactly,
Yeah. Well, here's an interesting thing about like the directing. Like I felt like in the first season, the depressing aspects and the direction really worked together. I think here the writer has larded up the characters with so many depressing things that I don't think the directing needs to be at times as intense as it is. I think like when you have Vince Vaughn telling you a horrible story about being, you don't. need
there's a monologue.
You don't need a camera moving in and music at the same time. That actor just needs to be able to like say that and we get how depressing the story is. So I think that's why the direction needs to pull back a little bit.
And we got a little bit of what we talked about last week, the menace of Vince Vaughn, which you didn't really get in the first episode. But I mean, like letting that guy get beat up and then
him showing up. That was a great touch.
Oh, hey, what?
Yeah. What do you think that could have been?
What do you think you did?
I know.
Why would you piss off?
I've never seen a scene like that done like that way.
What did you do to piss somebody off? Can you think of anything?
What does that mean?
I don't know what that means. I'm asking you. What you might have did to get guys like that after you.
Very quickly, I would like to mention, you wanted to mention the psychologist?
I just love that they're having this conversation. He's like, I'm all about discretion. I'm not going to reveal everything. And then he lists all of his different perversions, and he's like, that's all I'm going to say. I wanted Colin Farrell to respond with, what else is there?
Right. I think we're pretty much done here. Thank you. You've given us everything.
I feel like I slept with him.
That was the Inherent Vice scene, I thought. It's like, oh, we're at another like creepy clinic / whatever.
Yeah.
This was helpful. Thank you.
All right, I'm into it, and obviously I'm very anxious to see what happens next week.
Next week, dead or not dead, we'll find out.
Thanks for watching, everybody.